This is She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. Your host, Kinsey Roberts, interviews incredible women in the wedding industry who are making their mark and creating success on their terms. Join the conversation.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 186 of She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. This is your host, Kinsey Roberts. Thank you for joining me today. Today on the episode, I have my very good friend, industry educator and coach for wedding planners, Megan Gillikin. Megan and I collaborated on a marketing sprint for the most recent launch of her membership for wedding planners who've been in business 0 to 5 years. It's called the Planner's Vault. The marketing sprint takes place from February 8th through February 11th, and I would love for you to join us. And just in case you were thinking, I don't think this is for me, you are in luck, because in this episode, Megan and I are not only going to walk you through this marketing sprint that we've created, but we are also going to share with you why we created it, how you can implement it into your business, and the number one reason Megan and I both agree you have got to stop hiding from your clients. It is 2021. We have come off a very hard year, but we are not broken, and we need to get out there. We need to be booking weddings, and we need to start making money in these businesses. Yeah. So this marketing sprint is going to be the shot in the arm, the springboard that you need to stop hiding from your clients and to start marketing in a way that is impactful and drives revenue. There's a difference between just showing up on Insta stories to tell people about the latest thing you cooked for dinner and showing up on Insta stories to tell couples why you are the expert, why you are the wedding planner they should hire, why you are the venue they should book, the photographer they should hire, the caterer they should hire. There's a big difference. And you guys, I know I say it all of the time. I'm not even the one who created this saying, but I hope you will always remember that the best marketer wins. Chris Ducker says you have to be seen to sell, and that has never been more true in the wedding industry. If you don't know Megan Gillikin, she is the host of the Weddings for Real podcast. She is, of course, the founder, as I mentioned, of the Planner's Vault. She has been in the industry for over 15 years. She owns a luxury wedding planning company in North Carolina called A Southern Soiree. She is a great friend of mine, a super business mastermind when it comes to the wedding industry. So listen up. Even if you are not a wedding planner, this sprint is for you, but especially if you're a wedding planner, and especially if you've been in the industry for 0 to 5 years and you are looking for a community that is not only going to lift you up as a person and as a woman who owns a business, but also as somebody who wants to be lifted up into the next level of your business, pay attention, because the Planner's Vault is for you. Without further ado, let's go to the show and talk about why you need to stop hiding from your clients and this marketing sprint that we're about to do February 8th through 11th, 2021. Here we go, guys. Megan, welcome back to the show.
Kinsey, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, please, you don't even have to say thank you anymore, because I just enjoy having these conversations with you. You really help me up level my game in the wedding industry as a venue owner and also as a marketing expert. So you guys, if you don't know Megan, I am going to have her briefly introduce herself, but we are not going to go into her story today because this is a huge teaching episode. So I will link the additional episodes Megan has been on the show. I think this is probably her third or fourth time on the show now, maybe fourth or fifth, hard telling, not knowing.
I'm really hoping for like a t-shirt or something at some point.
I probably should send that. It's in the mail. It's in the mail, I mean.
I love it.
I'll link those episodes in the show notes if you want to get to know Megan personally more. And after this episode, I'm sure you will. But Megan, really briefly, share with everybody who you are and what you do in the industry so they understand where we're coming from today.
Of course. So I have been in the hospitality industry for about 15 years now. I got my start working for Marriott. I've been a wedding planner, business owner based out of Raleigh, North Carolina for, it'll be 11 years this year. And back in 2020, about 3 weeks before the pandemic, I launched a membership and education site for wedding planners called the Planner's Vault. And Kinsey, you've been such an amazing resource and friend and all the things to me over the last couple of years. So I always love our conversations.
Me too. The Planner's Vault is something that I have also been inside of since 3 weeks before the pandemic in 2020. Right. And what I found really interesting about that, Megan, and I've watched this whole thing transpire from when it was just an idea to when it was launched to Oh my goodness.
I
Now
know.
you've got all these planners in there. And not only are you teaching planners, but now you're also guiding them through a pandemic, and your knowledge and your grace and your experience in the last, my goodness, almost
Here.
15 years here has really, to me, been one of the most valuable things they could have ever invested in their business. Honestly, I think some people in there, if they didn't have the planners role, I think they would have quit because
Ooh,
they launched their business, a couple of months earlier, maybe a year earlier, and then damn, we have this pandemic, which is serious business, you guys. It's hard, as you know. We don't have to tell you that.
mm-mm.
It's hard, as we all know, and I think I almost guarantee it, they would have quit if they didn't have it. 'Cause it's
I think
hard.
you, yeah, I think you have to find a community that's going to push you through the times where you do want to give up. And I think we all encounter those during the life of being an entrepreneur. So you have to find those people that are going to pull you through, keep you motivated, and help you take that next step forward. That's an always thing. But then you throw in just the intense year that we all have gone through in the events industry and basically the shutdown of events, and then you really, really need your people.
That's exactly right. And I think in addition to, or not in addition, I think the kind of people that you need are people who are going to push you to do the realistic and necessary activities in your business that are actually going to bring in revenue. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You guys know I am affectionate. I do love you, but I don't want to, and I'm talking to you, the listener, but I don't want to sit here and just be like, you can do it, rah, rah, like you can do it and rah, rah. However, you are going to have to put in some strategic things in place so that you can actually make money. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Regardless is if we're following a pandemic year or not, this topic today, stop hiding from your clients, is going to help you create, it's going to give you the shot in the arm that you need and help you create a culture of in-house marketing so that you can get out from behind your computer. And I don't mean in-person networking, so don't hear what I'm not saying.
Mm-mm.
I don't mean you don't have to get on Insta stories every single day. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I am talking about stop hiding from your clients and get out there and do the marketing and sales techniques that are necessary and valuable to put dollars in your bank account.
Yes, because I think right now there's a little bit of analysis paralysis that's
Mm,
going on for wedding industry vendors. And there's like, oh my gosh, I need to be in all of these 47 different places. And instead of showing up, they just don't. And
mhm.
that's what we're gonna talk about today is really how to get out of that mindset and take those actionable steps that actually matter when it comes to reaching clients in your business.
That's right. So we are going to share some steps with you that actually matter. And what you could do is you could take these steps today because we like to, Megan has a podcast too. It's called Weddings for Real. We both like to deliver on actionable tips. So what you could do is you could take the steps that we share today and you could go implement them by yourself. Or better yet, I would love for you to join Megan's marketing sprint, which we are going to share with you at the end of this episode. Sign up for it. It is completely free and it's going to be baller. But before we get into those steps, Megan, let's talk about what is not moving the needle forward. What should people stop doing? What's your first tip?
My first tip would be that don't get so caught up in the idea of perfection that you don't put content out there at all. So you
That's
don't show
right.
up on stories, you don't show up in reels, you don't post to you're not writing constant blog content. You're basically just sitting there analyzing everything that's on your plate and saying, well, I could start here. I could do this, but I'm just not sure if I'm doing it correctly. I think that that's something that you can find so much content out there over the correct way to do it, but really it's just get out there and do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. My tip really closely follows that, and it would be to stop calling yourself a type A perfectionist. Honestly, when I hear people say that, I will go to their website, I go to their Instagram, I go to their Pinterest, I'll do a deep dive into their business, and I'll realize, no, you're actually not type A at all. This is an unorganized mess. You are
Mm.
actually just scared and fearful to start putting content out there. So stop lying to yourself and other people and just take messy action. action. You have got to do it. You guys, nobody knows what they're doing. But to be honest with you, like we talk about nobody knew about the pandemic. Nobody knew. We didn't know how to run our businesses through a pandemic. My business partner and I, Katie, at the venue, we had hours and hours and hours and hours of conversation about what we should do. And so to Megan's point, there is so much information out there. Like, do it this way. No, 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 do it this way. You have to do it this way. No, 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 you have to do it that way. And none of those things are true. I think that, even from educators like Megan and myself, just take what you like that we say and leave the rest. And don't take
Yes.
anything if it doesn't work for you. We all are running in different, we are all running different businesses. We all run in different markets. So if you are serving more of like, here's an example. If you are along with taking messy action, if you're serving a high-end luxury client or a client who wants you to do everything because they're busy professional in the public relations industry, being goofy on reels is not the damn answer. Let's be real. Ha, you see what I did there? It's not the answer, right? But if
Yeah.
you are serving a more DIY couple who definitely needs step-by-step planning instructions, but you're just a wedding manager, then getting on reels, maybe being a little fun and silly because you are more personable in that way, and guiding them through education on your Instagram, that might be the answer. So you have got to understand your industry, or excuse
Well,
me, your market, right?
and I want to add on to that you have to figure out, because of all the places that you can show up, you have to figure out where you need to be based on where your clients are. So that speaks to that as well. Like if you are
Yeah,
serving a corporate client, then dang, you better be on LinkedIn.
come
But
on.
if yeah, but if you're going completely after like the wedding industry side of things and you're speaking to couples, then I believe that you should have a presence on LinkedIn, but should you be pouring hours of time into that? Absolutely not.
No, just take it off your plate. Super simple. Going back, people are just like, oh, there's so many updates on Instagram. We just gave you permission to get off Instagram if you are serving a corporate client. Go pour all of your time into LinkedIn and watch your business grow. So I
Mhm.
think that our second tip, our dual second tip of what to stop doing, is to stop pouring time and effort into platforms that do not matter with the client you are trying to book. I'm not going to say ideal client because I hate that phrase,
Mhm.
but the
Same.
client you are trying to book right now, and that could look different for you next year than it does today. When I opened my wedding venue in 2017, our client was a hell of a lot different then than it is now.
Mhm.
And that's only been, I mean, hell, my venue's only open half of the year. It's only open 6 months out of the year. So,
Right.
I mean, that was a short, 2 full years ago, or 3 full years ago, I guess, as we record this. So if we want to get into the 12-month thing, but what's another tip? Let's do 2 more tips each, and then we're going to get into what we can be doing. What's another tip
Okay.
people need to stop doing?
So this is a big one to me, is stop looking at what others are doing and
Mm,
comparing where you are on your journey to what they're doing. So this is one of those things that is so easy. And Kinsey, we hear this time and time again
it's so hard.
from industry vendors that like they're looking at the highlight reel of their competition and getting bogged down in self-doubt and just negative thoughts about, again, the messy side of what their presence is when it comes to social media. So stop that. You have to stop that. And I believe that there's and I say this because y'all, and I've been pretty transparent that this is something that I have struggled with as well, but really focus on you. Know that your strengths are yours. Your superpower is specific to you, and figure out what that is. I have an episode on Weddings for Real where I help walk you through what your superpower is, and I help you identify where your weakness is as well, which is a huge part of growth in your business. But make sure that like you're not putting the spotlight on someone else when you should be turning that spotlight towards your business goals.
Yeah, that's right. And honestly, friends, if you need to remove people from your feeds, if you need to
Mhm.
stop attending webinars, if you need to stop listening to podcasts like this one, please do that. For whatever period of time you need to do that in order for you to have this ongoing self-confidence, because this is not something that you can just turn on or off, right? This is an ongoing um situation that you're going to have to deal with if you are feeling like you are constantly comparing yourself to others in the industry. We all do it. Megan does it. I do it. And it's so hard to get out of it. And especially if you have the kind of personality that internalizes those things very deeply, it will be even harder for you. So please do what you need to do to take yourself out of those things. Megan and I host a clubhouse room every single Monday about mental health in the industry. And something that comes up so much is comparison. No matter what the topic we're talking about, because we do a bit of a different topic every month. And it's just we're not clinical psychologists, you guys. We just get in there and talk to other women in the industry, and we share our struggles, and we talk about a specific topic. But something that always constantly comes up is the beast of comparison. And I really don't want that for you. I don't want that for you in your life. You don't deserve that. So do what you need to do to get out of the game of comparison. And so my final tip, these are not the only things you need to stop doing. This is just what we're talking about today. But my final tip of what you need to stop doing is please stop being confusing. Stop being confusing on your website, on social media, in your content, in your headers on your website, in your packages. A lot of people have this thing where they think being clever and being cute beats being concise, and that is just not the case. I'll give you a very simplistic example. Please stop calling your planning packages or your venue packages or your photography packages the mountaineer package, the elevated mountaintop package. And you guys, I live in the mountains, so you know what I'm saying. Stop doing that. Call them something that a client will actually search for online. Like, you're killing me. You are killing me. People do not go on to Google, and trust me, trust this right now. Trust the billions of searches happening every single month. Our couples are going to Google to search, period, the end. Yes, some people are finding you on Instagram. Do not get me wrong. But you know how they probably got there? They probably got there because they searched online.
Yeah.
They probably found you on Facebook. Then they went to Instagram, or they found your website. Then they went to Instagram because they wanted to see more photos, all of these things. So stop being confusing. Clear and concise beats clever and cute every day of the week.
One of my favorite quotes from Donald Miller's story, Building a Story Brand, is when you confuse, you lose. And that speaks so much to wedding industry vendors and the information that is on their site. There are many times when I go to someone's website and I'm like, oh boy, I'm confused and I don't understand your service offerings. And I've been in the industry for 15 years. And that's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. And I haven't been in the industry for 15 years, but I've been doing websites for 11 years. And if Megan and I are confused about what you offer, you have a problem. And it's not because, again, you guys, it's not because we know everything, but we've seen a lot of wedding content. We've seen a lot of websites. And if we're confused, you have got an issue. If you need a website audit, Megan and I both do those. Reach out to us on Instagram, DM Megan at Weddings for Real, or at, is it just Planner's Vault?
Just Planner's Vault.
It's just Planner's Vault. I always forget if it has or you can DM me at She Creates Business. Be clear. Don't be cute. Okay. Let's talk about this marketing sprint, Megan. We're going to take you guys through how to create a culture of marketing in-house, how to jumpstart consistency in marketing. Listen to me. I've said this on the podcast before, and I am going to say it again. The best marketer wins. I do not care if you are better than all of the photographers in your town. I do not care if you are the best planner that operates in 3 cities. I don't care if you have the most beautiful venue with the best team. If nobody knows you exist, if you are spending time rearranging the FAQs on your website, we have a problem. And you are not going to make any money. I love you, but there it is.
There comes your 8. I feel it.
You feel it?
Well,
okay, go.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that you and I thought of when we were putting together this challenge is that, as we said earlier in this podcast, there are so many different places that you're supposed to show up, and we want to remove the overwhelm. So the idea behind this is we're going to get you into action in taking steps that actually matter in connecting and putting you forward facing when it comes to reaching clients. So you're not going to get bogged down in the back end side of your business. And it's broken down into, it's a 4-day challenge. And y'all, let me give you the details. So it's February 8th through the 11th. and it's a 4-day challenge. And the idea is that each day you've got things that you can choose that speak to where you are in business. So there's like 3 different calls to action, but you pick 2 of them because, again, your calls to action may be different from someone else's as to where they need to show up and put the time and investment into their business. But you pick 2 things each day. And then we're going to kick it off with a 30-minute like live training. I'm going to be bringing in experts to do like quick power interviews on each of the specific topics. And then you have co-working time to actually get it done.
That's right. That's exactly right. So you guys, I'll put those dates and the link to sign up in the show notes. If the show notes are hard to find, I know that everybody's listening on a different app these days, which is awesome. Just DM me on Instagram for real. Pull up your phone right now, get on Instagram, find at She Creates Business, hit message and say, Kinsey, send me that link, sister. And I will send you that link. Super easy. You don't even have to try to find the show notes because I am your personal show note purveyor. So, okay. Megan said it's a 4-day challenge. Let's talk about, and here's the great thing, which is true. She also mentioned that you get to pick the tasks from that day because going back to what we mentioned in the beginning is you don't have to be on the platforms your clients are not on. So when we talk about something like being clear and being concise, one of the things we see a lot is what, Megan? Bios on social media that are unclear and full of flowery language because people are trying to be Mark Twain.
Yes, that's true. Or they're just not speaking to what the client is looking for, or it's just they're not even sure, the client's not even sure what services are offered by the vendor when they land on their social media bios. So that's definitely going to be one of the focuses. And I'll be bringing in Alea Harris, who is a copywriting specialist and a marketer as well, to help us get clarity on that topic together.
Yep, exactly. And you guys, Alea Harris has been on She Creates Business before. She is fantastic. So if you want a little preview of her teaching style, you can sure get that. And I will also link up to that episode. And then on day 1, we're talking about showing up. So we've said this a lot. You got to stop hiding from your clients. And now listen, I'm not telling you need to start a YouTube channel. I'm not telling you need to go live on Facebook every single day. I'm not telling you that Reels is your thing with your face or Insta stories, but you've got to start somewhere. Many of you don't know if that's your thing because you don't do it. And so you have no data to prove your point. That's something that I see a lot when people are like, I'm super type A. And I'm like, doesn't look like it. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I don't know if my clients would really like that. I'm like, oh really? You've never posted a reel. I don't see any videos on your Facebook page. There's no videos on Instagram. And so how do you actually know that? You don't know that. If you don't have any data, don't tell me that you know, just tell me that I have not put any time and effort into that. Therefore, I can't make an assumption.
Right. Well, I think it's fear. I think a lot of it is fear. So if you're scared of showing up and showing your face, then you
Just say that.
Yeah, you just don't do it. And you need to just acknowledge that and then make a plan. But gosh, I mean, just for one quick second, I want to acknowledge that everything in life that you do for the first few times feels uncomfortable, don't you think? Like learning to ride a bike, learning to drive a car, planning a wedding, like all of the things, they're all uncomfortable and a little bit clunky to start with. But the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And to add to that, if you have accountability and you have a sisterhood of people who you know are doing it at the exact same time on the exact same day, like during this challenge, will give you the confidence that you need. You guys, video is scary. I've been on video a lot. I host a podcast. We do webinars. I talk to a lot of people and I still feel self-conscious about what I look like. I'm worried if people can see my double chin. Did I shave my face that day? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, don't talk to me about my mustache from having kids. I'm scared. I get embarrassed. We all do, but don't let that stop you because you're perfect the way you are and you're only showing up to help your clients. And so don't let it stop you and hold you back from doing video. They want to see you. You know why? Because you're excellent at what you do. And they need what you have. So show up on video. We give you exactly what to do on Reels or on Insta stories. Yep.
Yes.
And so you don't even have to think about it. You can just DM Megan and say, I'm getting on Insta stories right now. And we're going to cheer you on. So that's one thing. Get in front of the camera or put somebody who works for you in front of the camera. It depends on your business structure, right? And depends on your future goals. Another thing is, listen, we do not give ourselves enough credit where credit is due. We do not, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't brag on our businesses enough. And I want you to start doing that. And one way they can do that, Megan, and we help you understand exactly the way to do that without looking sleazy, is sharing your testimonials in a strategic way.
Yes. Yes. So there's definitely time carved out as one of the calls to action in the challenge to really take your past clients, those testimonials, those reviews, and put them in places that are going to speak to the people that are stalking you on social media or checking out your website, but have yet to reach out. They need that social proof.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, day 2 is full of additional prompts. Here's the cool thing about the challenge that Megan created, you guys, is that each day are full of easy but different prompts. And here's why she created it this way. It's because you may or may not know where your clients are. And these prompts, especially if you do all 3 of them, why not? I mean, go big or go home, right?
That's true.
You can start gathering data. Or for those of you who already know, you get to pick the ones that are the best for you. Yeah. So even though we have listed these and they're very specific because we wanted to make it as no brainer as possible and just get you used to taking action. That is the whole point. Used to taking strategic action, by the way, because we don't just want to flop around in the wind and just be like, oh, I'm super busy, but nothing's actually working. You can choose to say, oh, I love this, but I actually already know that my clients are on Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram. So I'm just going to tweak this just a skosh and put it on a different platform. That's the beauty of this challenge. So day 2 is we cover Pinterest. We cover sending something special to past couples. We'll get into that in the actual challenge. And we cover creating long form content. Those are 3 very different aspects of marketing, right?
They are, but just like you said, you have to follow the data and
That's right.
figure out what's working for your business. So yes, this is like putting seeds in areas that are really going to grow. And the whole goal of this challenge is to get you in front of more clients and bring more clients into your business. And that's what we're doing each day of the challenge.
Yeah, that's right. On day 2, one of the specific challenges, and again, we tell you step by step, plug and play this, is all around Pinterest. And I just want to share a personal experience that I've had with Pinterest because, again, you guys, Megan and I are both active in our craft still. So she's still a wedding planner. I am still a venue owner, and we are in the weeds with you. And something that I've experienced on my own Pinterest page since starting it in 2017 is massive growth. When I first got on there, I was super active and then I got off. But what I noticed about Pinterest, and I'm going to share the point to the story in just a second, is that my views and my conversion didn't really drop off because Pinterest is just so evergreen. It exists forever. We are so lucky in the wedding industry because trends really don't change that fast. They sincerely don't. I mean, I'll just call it like it is. Like rusticweddingchic.com has been a website for, my goodness, I think 12 years. And she's still rocking it, you guys, because people want those kinds of weddings. So yes, there's different trends that we see, but we're not changing so rapidly that decor in the wedding industry is you have to like change your pins all of the time.
It doesn't go out of style.
It doesn't go out of style. Yes. That's right. And so, I started at 0. We have over 600,000 views a month now on Pinterest.
It's amazing.
Pinterest is our number 2 traffic driver. It used to be Google and then Facebook and Instagram. Now it's Google and then Pinterest. And that actually came from beginning to create content. It took me 12 months. So it took me let me say, no, took me about 13 and a half months to make Pinterest. So about a year to make Pinterest my number 2 traffic driver to my website that converts into traffic. And I say that to tell you that, listen, it is the long game, but my goodness, it is so worth it. You know why? I spend the least amount of time on Pinterest.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really great. Yeah. And we're going to be bringing in Gabby Pinkerton, she's a Pinterest pro. She's also a wedding planner. And I love that too. So she's in the craft.
That's right.
And she's going to be talking about best strategies for Pinterest on that day.
That's right. So not only do you get access to Gabby's brain, but you also get and this is just Pinterest. This is just one of the 3 on day 2. So you get access to Gabby's brain on that day, which is incredible. And then you'll go through and you'll execute on those 3 things, or you can just pick 2. I would love for you guys, listen to me. If you do all 3 things every single day of the challenge, DM me on Instagram and prove it. And I got something special for you.
I love
This
it.
is just for my action takers. I got something special for you, and it probably starts with Amazon and ends with gift card.
Ooh.
Day 3 is another day of the challenge where you can take action on 3 different things. Why did we pick these? Why did we have day 3?
Okay, so day 3 is going to really focus on Google, so the
Oh.
Google side of your business. And then
Mhm.
we're going to talk about Reels. So on this day, I actually am bringing in 2 industry pros. I'll be bringing in Sarah Dunn of Sarah Does SEO, and I freaking love Sarah. She's been within the membership a couple times to help planners with the like rankings and SEO side of your business. So she's going to be helping with that, because that is definitely one of those things that I feel like as creative entrepreneurs, we're like, I don't know what to do. So I'm not going to do anything at all. So Sarah's going to come in, break that down. And then Reels, which obviously we know are still fairly new. And I think that if we can get you to just get a little bit more comfortable and learn a little bit more about how that's speaking to your clients, it's going to be super helpful. And for that one, I'm bringing in Brandy Gar, she's killing it with Reels. She's also a wedding planner.
She's also a wedding planner. And Reels, simply put, friends, Reels are getting the most traction on Instagram right now. So just take advantage of it. You got to feed the beast, right? That's
You
what
don't
I
have
always
to
say.
dance. You don't have to dance.
Listen, for my fellow wedding venues out there, you can it's real easy for us. You don't even have to put your face on camera. I just take a couple of scoops via video of my venue, add some cute music to it, and they crush it.
Nice.
Like
Love
that's
it.
all you have to do. So venues, get on Reels for sure, because it's the easiest for us. We don't have to put our face on camera.
You are
we
lucky.
Have something
You are
pretty to
lucky.
show. So make it easy, you guys. So day 3, talking about Google. Sarah Dunn is going to simplify it for you. And then very simple here, Reels, getting the most traction on Instagram. Why wouldn't you be claiming that free real estate? Okay, day 4, the final day of your challenge, Meg.
Day 4, we're going to be scheduling out posts on Instagram and Facebook. We're really honing in on Instagram and how you can set yourself up for success so it's not a time suck for you. So all of the tasks are related to that day.
That's right. They're all related to that. And listen, you guys, when you join a challenge like this, like Megan said, she's going to have an expert every single day. They're not going to drone on for 30 minutes. It's going to be fast, 10-minute, action-packed,
Power.
quick power 10-minute discussion and education from these experts. Then you get to dive in with all of us. And like I said, it is a sisterhood of people doing the same thing at the same time, so that we can all create a culture of in-house marketing and give our business the boost that it needs, while all of these people are out there searching for vendors to book. Because I got news for you, it's booking season, baby. So if you don't get that business, someone else is going to. Let this challenge be the jumpstart that you need.
Yes. And one of the things is that I'm excited about the accountability component. So if you're able to make it for the accountability component, as timing wise, we're going to be doing the short power interviews at 12 p.m. Eastern time, but then we're going to have an hour and a half each day of the 4-day challenge that's devoted to like, okay, you've learned it. It's fresh in your mind. Let's make it happen right now. And I think that's going to be super powerful if you're able to join us, even for 1 or 2 of the days. I'd love to see you for all 4, but just come, just show up,
Yeah, just show up. That's all you got to do. Show up and do what you can with what you can where you're at. Megan, tell everybody where they can sign up for this challenge. You guys do not have to remember all these topics. You certainly don't have to remember all the dates and times. Megan's got your back with reminder emails. So tell everybody where they can sign up and become part of this challenge.
So Kinsey, I have a special link for your listeners. It's theplannersvault.com/shecreatesbusiness, and you'll get access to sign up for the challenge. You'll get emails from me, and I'll be checking in with you every single day. We will be running the challenge within my free Facebook group, the Weddings for Real Facebook group. So I'll be going live in there every day, and I can't wait to see you.
I cannot wait to see you either. And don't forget, for those of you who do every single prompt during this whole week, you got to DM me, but you got to prove it. So receipts.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes. DM me too. I want to add to this. Let's do something together.
I'm going to bring Megan into the conversation.
Okay. I love it.
It'll be a thread. It'll be a thread. Don't be scared. We're excited for you guys. Go to theplannersvault.com/she creates business. Sign up for the challenge. We're going to see you there February 8th through the 11th.
That's right.
I love it. All right. Megan, tell everybody where they can find you. If they're like, I'm too scared to do the challenge, you better not be. But I want to hang out with Megan because she's awesome.
Yes. Come find me on Instagram. I'm at Weddings for Real and at Planners Vault. And definitely push yourself. Come do that challenge. You're going to find the accountability, the cheerleading, and the movement within your business really, really powerful. I promise.
I agree. Megan Gillikin of Weddings for Real and the Planners Vault. Thank you so much for coming back on the show. I appreciate you.
Love you, Kinsey.
Thank you so much for listening to She Creates Business. Please take a minute and head to iTunes to leave an honest review so we can help more wedding pros find the show.